Where the fuck is my shit? There it is. Alright. I think I got my shit together enough. Motherfucker. Okay. Ah, there we go. Alright. I am live. Now I gotta share this. You have a setup to show off your snakes? No, I don't. I do not have a setup to show off snakes today. In fact, I haven't accomplished much of anything today because I have a snake laying eggs and I don't like to be in the room and, you know, potentially bother them and have them shut down. Oh, man. Do you like the part 2? I gotta share this too, whatchamacallit. What's up, Barry? Let me share this on Facebook real quick. Hi, buddy. Yeah, I'll be back in a second. Next gen. Barry, don't fuck with the mic. And here we go. Paste. Barry, knock it off. There we go. Should be up. Is it up? Barry, knock the fuck off. It didn't look like it it didn't look like it went up right. Hold on, I'll be back. There we go. There we go. All right. I'm back. Yeah, I take it everybody liked both of the breakdown videos. I had a lot of people telling me how funny they were, so I actually went back and watched them. And I was a little brutal. I was a little more brutal than maybe I needed to be, but that's okay. Hopefully Triple Threat can get on the right track. I did kind of want to talk about that for a minute. I do kind of feel like they were almost used as mouthpieces, which I didn't think was really fair to them. Barry, knock it off. So, but yeah, I just hope I don't have to do another one of those. I know everybody's hoping that I do another one. I'm just hoping I don't have to do another one. Because it's kind of mean. It's kind of brutal. Extremely entertaining, but, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so hopefully they start putting out some better content and then I don't have to make fun of it so bad. Yeah, I haven't been in the snake room pretty much all day because I have a snake laying, and it is my Yellowhead Het Indo 25% Bali Noda Howline to my Sunfire Super Tiger Indo 12.5 Bali Noda Howline. And it's looking like it's going to be a pretty big clutch. So I'm hoping he proves out to be a carrier of the Yellowhead gene. He was produced from the tiger that produced the clutch of tiger head ocelots that Lucas made. She's definitely a carrier, and so was the ocelot. Now, the male that I bred to that tiger did not seem to be a carrier because it didn't have the yellow. It clearly didn't have the yellowhead trait. So hopefully he has it, and we get some yellowheads out of this. So this is going to be a big enough clutch that should once and for all allow me to get some really good data. You know, if nothing ends up with a yellowhead in that clutch, then I know it's 100% has to be coming from both sides. If I do get yellowheads in that clutch, hopefully I can get a good number to compare. Like, that's the one thing that sucks about that clutch. Looks like it's going to be pretty big, and I'm going to have to hold them all back pretty much. The visual stuff, I'll be able to tell pretty much right out the egg which is carrying the gene. Because a true yellowhead in albino form has a kind of a different color head. So uh, I'll be able to tell right out the gate probably if the male was carrying the gene. So hopefully, and that'll tell us a lot because I think if I do get yellowheads, I think we're going to be able to find out, uh, get a pretty good idea of how it's working, which I think it's going to show to be something similar to a simple recessive. I honestly think it's going to be very similar to a simple recessive. Um, and I've just never had a big enough clutch in any of the yellowhead projects to really figure it out. And this is the first super big clutch. Well, not it's pretty big. It's looking like it's going to be pretty big. That will give me a massive amount of data. So, because I can't think of any, I don't know of any yellowhead stuff that's ever been produced that didn't come from at least lineage of yellowheads. So, and you see yellowhead pop up in a lot. You know, you saw it on Orange Ghost Stripe. You saw it in some of the whatchamacallits, the Phantoms. You saw it a lot on the Genetic Stripes. There is some Sumatrans that have it, but for the most part, that gene is really uh, Central East Java, and then Lombok, Bali, Madura, that area. So I can't think. I thought there was some Sumbawas. Was there some Sumbawas that came in? No, there was Maduras. Maduras had came in a long time ago, and I don't know what happened to them, but a lot of them had the yellow heads. I wish I'd have got. I should have got a pair of those Maduras. Those would have been a nice little side project to have going on. Yeah, Madura is the little island off the east coast of Java. It's where Genetic Stripe comes from. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that clutch turns out. So she's been laying all fucking day. Hopefully she uh, gets done soon so I can pull the eggs. So yeah, my furnace quit working today, so that was awesome. Um, so I got all these heat. I got space heaters and stuff running. But the snake room's fine. It's warm. It's got its own shit. So, but yeah, that was so I covered the triple threat shit. Yeah, hopefully they kind of get it together. And then I don't have to be so mean. The yellowhead stuff. That's also going to have endos in it. Obviously, it's going to have the endos in it. So, and they're going to be what 18.75% Bali or something like that. I think that's what the math is on it. I forget. So, if anybody wants any selectively bred endos, this should be the clutch. I have a really nice Indo Tiger that's more or less selectively bred, but she there's a couple little things I need to fix on her. I need to put a yellowhead on her, and I need to break up the back pattern a little bit. But other than that, I mean, she's amazing looking. I'll have to do a video of her because she's really impressive. She's about a year away from breeding. I got to start hitting her with some food and start getting her into some breeding programs. But yeah, so these are going to be like the first actually selectively bred Indos. I kind of wanted to do something with Indos like I used to do with the purples, make the real nice dark purples with the nice patterns, nice colors. Barry, you got to stop, buddy. Um, and hopefully we can get that Indo gene really off to the races. What's crazy about the Indo gene is it's such an amazing gene, and hardly anybody's done anything with it in terms of selective breeding. So I'm working on what the Ternates, the Mindanaos. I haven't done Halmas, so if somebody wants to start that, tear it up. And I might have a clutch of Superdorfs with the head Indo this season, so we're gonna wait and see. Um, but I gotta get this fucking cat off my lap. He's driving me nuts. Come on, buddy. Come on. No, no, I'm covered in cat hair now. There you go. Go lay down. Um, yeah. Next on the list is uh, what? Oh yeah. What kind of topics do you guys want to see? I need a list of topics for whatchamacallit, for the next uh, few podcasts. We got a few podcasts coming up, me and Spencer, and I want to hear some topics you guys want to hit. I had somebody send me a Halma Jamp Indocross. Yeah, that'll look neat. That'll definitely look neat. But hit me with some topics that you guys want to hear. Somebody had sent me a message and I forget who it was. Somebody said they wanted to hear more about pattern and color, like a breakdown, a little bit more of a breakdown on like when I talk about side banding or color or pattern outlining, back pattern structure. Um, is that stuff that you people would want an actual podcast, like either a breakdown video of, or me and Spencer could do a podcast video and we could go over some things and I could add some pictures in. Um, yeah, what would you guys basically what would you guys find helpful? What content would you guys find most helpful? I want your thoughts on inbreeding. The inbreeding is unfortunate, um, but I don't. We're just at a point where we have such limited animals here. We don't got a choice, you know. And I'm not gonna. What I'm about to say isn't to justify it or make it okay, but there's a lot of naturally occurring inbreeding, especially on the smaller islands, like all the super dwarfs. They're all inbred as shit, you know. And I do inbreeding if I have to. Like I would do inbreeding to keep a locality pure if I have to. You know what I'm saying? Like I did a little bit of inbreeding this year. I bred a F1 Mindanao back to the female, so they're kind of like F1.5s, because my original male died. So yeah, I did that breeding, you know, and because I kind of had to, and I also wanted to do that too because the female's so interesting. And I kind of want to see if she's got anything going on because none of her offspring has ever quite looked like her. Let me write this down. Hold on. I'll get back. I'll say some more stuff about inbreeding in a second. Yes, cover more side banding. Okay, side banding. Yeah, uh, I gotta get my shit together and get some more snakes up here to get them on the video. I really there's a really high silver animal. I produced a really weird animal with the platy Halma ternate clutch. Um, for some reason, this high silver animal popped out, and it's a female, so I'm holding her back. We're gonna work her into mocha stuff because of how nice her silver is. So, I want to show that animal off. There's a bunch of shit downstairs that I want to start showing off, and I might actually try to figure out a way to set things up a little different, which I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do it, but I might try. Um, what with examples, if possible, of how to produce them? Yes, dude. All side banding really is when the color, um, the pattern outlining color extends down underneath the rosette, and it's when you get that like real symmetrical look. Like there's silver, then like this like band of color with a rosette in between it, then more silver, then yeah. And dude, that stuff works great for, um, yeah, that stuff works great for Sunfire, Platinum, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, dude, I wouldn't make it up here with the Solas. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Physically impossible. So, but yeah, so side banding. I wanted to do. I figured I should do a video on back pattern. Because one of the things about back pattern I've been really looking at is the back diamond spacing. I think that's going to be, because I already figured out how to make thick black and aberrant back pattern. So like the next thing is how do I separate the back diamonds a little bit to avoid striping. So how many generations of inbreeding can you go with how ill effects? I know with rodents you can do multiple generations. I don't think we know. I honestly don't think we know, and it must be a lot because if you look at the Superdorf Islands, those things have to be, those things have to be inbred as shit. And and we know there's a lot of inbreeding happening in the wild because Blatar in East Java, that's where there's been a ton of phantoms found, and there's been like 20, upwards of 20 wild caught anthraxes. And the second ocelot was found like almost in the same exact spot 2 to 4 years later. So we know that there's natural occurring inbreeding. I mean, how many generations? I don't know. I think, when I'm always talking about polygenics and potential for new morphs, that's actually how I came up with that theory that you can actually make new morphs through line breeding. And I talked to a biologist about it, and they said, yeah, they said it is possible. Even though some people in retics will tell you I'm crazy for saying that, but I mean that does seem to be how morphs are actually popping up. They're just a bunch of traits over time getting locked in, and it throws a new morph. I don't think it's nearly as random as people think. How late do you go breeding your females? Oh, I don't worry about breeding them late. I worry about them breeding early. I try not to breed anything before October 1st because a lot of times when they breed before then, my males aren't adequately cooled down and I get shit clutches. So they can go as late as they want. If they want to wait till April to go, if they want to, I don't give a shit. It's up to them. Yeah, I don't. I let them tell me what they want to do. I don't try to talk them into anything. Yeah, and I think with the inbreeding thing too, um, I don't think it's just inbreeding that's an issue. I think doing things like, say you get a clutch of whatever, super dwarfs, whatever, and you have some really, say you get 10 eggs and two of them are just really weak. They don't want to eat. You're force feeding them to keep them alive. You're doing all this shit. Um, and then you finally get them started, and it takes months, and yeah, it's those animals that I think will actually cause the problem later on for inbreeding. Like, do I think we can just forever inbreed retics? No, but the reality is probably some that aren't supposed to be here will show up at some point. So, it's you never know when a new morph's going to pop up in Bob Clark's place. So, just those kind of situations. I think I think there'll be some opportunities to maybe add new blood, and there's also the chance that USR could one day get its shit together and get the snakes removed from the Lacey Act, or at least let them get imported in small numbers. Like allow 100 a year to come in or something like that. To keep the price up. And if there was a limit on how many could come in, that'd be great too, because it wouldn't just be like, oh, we can get 100 retics in a year. Like if each importer could bring in 100, right? Like they had like a quota. Well, not a quota. They just like that was the government quota. Like you couldn't go over 100. Um, they wouldn't bring in 100 lot of $10 Sumatrans. They're gonna get the localities and stuff and bring them in and bring in good shit. So okay, with no importation, I think those animals that are not weak should be kept and bred. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The weak animals, You know, the stuff that's shown that failure to thrive, like that's the stuff that people just need to call and put down, you know, because that shit's going to cause problems later on. For sure. Definitely it's going to cause problems later on for sure. Yeah. So, but yes, I got side banding. I'm gonna write down back pattern. No one said that, but I really want to talk about back pattern because I think back pattern. I think back pattern is going to with all the complaints about Aztec. I think back pattern is going to be a topic of conversation because when you look at all the complaints about Aztec, what are they all about? They're all about back pattern, um, and to some extent side pattern because you know, well, even in the ocelots, you know, a lot of the stuff, a lot of some of the normal ocelots we're seeing, they got really weak back pattern. So I think back pattern is going to be a discussion. I think it's not even just on the polygenic front, but back pattern manipulation with morphs too. Um, something like something like pecan, um, that definitely seems to be reducing it in a way, but may also work well in separating some back diamonds and offsetting some striping. So I think back pattern is actually going to be a huge one. Did you see the purple ocelot from A and B? No, Aubrey doesn't keep me in the loop. He's very inconsiderate that way. Um, did they actually make a? Did he make a purple? Because I thought I've not seen one. I knew there was white phases or something. And then there was the orange glows in the Indos, but I have not seen a purple ocelot. I want to see a fucking mocha ocelot. That thing's gonna be like glowing silver. Somebody needs to make that snake. Yeah, someone sent me a picture of the purple ocelot. Does it look good or did it stripe out and look all shitty? That's the thing you got to remember. Morphs don't look shitty. the polygenic traits they the polygenic traits they mix with them make them look shitty. So you can make them look good too. Yeah, they did. They shared a pic today. Yes, if you can send me a pic on however you could send it to me. I'll take a look. Yeah, I'm curious to see how the back pattern ended up. Yeah, and the side pattern, man. Like it's important to get that back diamond and rosette separation on stuff like that. Uh, and and hold on a second. I thought I heard something. And to figure out, you know, how to really start manipulating some of that stuff. Yeah, it's one of my cats are clawing at the door. It's like, what the hell is that noise? Um, yeah, I downloaded a study the professors did for the Lacey Act that got them banned. I think they could prove it would be economically beneficial. They might. Well, I don't even know if it's an economics thing. It's a, you know, according to Fish and Wildlife's own map, they only had two little places where the retics could even live, and one of them, it was just based on strictly climate. It didn't talk about actually what was in that area. It was a specific area in Texas. It was like, well, if that's an area where there's just a bunch of Walmarts and shopping centers and stuff, like just because it hits the temperature requirement doesn't mean something could actually live there. All right, what you send it on? You texted or do you? I guess I can just go through all the different apps until I find it. Oh, is that a purple ocelot phantom? Or is there something else in there? What the hell else is in there? Or is that marble too? What the hell? Yeah. Yeah, what the hell is this? I can't even tell what this is. It's a good looking snake, whatever the hell it is. Yeah. Yeah. Can you see that? Oh, fuck. Motherfucker. Hold on. Let me see. I gotta hide behind my phone or it'll try to focus on me. Yeah, no, it looks good. Yeah, it definitely looks good. I'm guessing that's a... Is that a purple, man? That looks dark for a purple. Yeah, I'm guessing that's a phantom or something, too. Sides look good. Yeah, back looks good. So that's a great looking snake. Yeah. But, yeah. Now we just got to get that into Superdorf. Yeah, we just got to get that into Superdorf. Go from there. Yeah, what were the ocelot? What were the ocelot Indo? What were the Indo caramel ocelot males going for? Because I have a feeling that price is going to be a lot more affordable in the next, very soon. I might. I gotta. This season, I gotta try to make them. I'm gonna try to make Super Tiger ocelots. I'm not sure that Super Tiger ocelots are gonna look that amazing. I think there's a chance they'll actually look really good. Um, I think that's one of those combos that might actually be surprising because it definitely has the possibility of not looking good. But to be able to make a whole clutch of, to be able to take one of those males and breed it to an ocelot and make a whole clutch of ocelot tigers would be super helpful. Yeah, or to run it into, to run it into stuff. So, if you're running it into localities, you're not making any normals. Because I think that's the big thing we're gonna see in the ocelot market. Besides ocelot itself, I think the hets are gonna take a huge fucking hit. I just don't see how, like a male head ocelot. I mean, what just a regular male head ocelot. Like, what do you think its value is? We'll give it a double head. We'll say male, head ocelot and a male double head Indo ocelot. I mean, the regular ocelot. I mean, I think that's, I don't know, what's that, $200 snake, 300? Like, can't be worth that much, But if it's got a few other things, it's tiger and it's double head or something like that. I mean, I think that's gonna be worth something. Well, yeah, morphs are, they are long term. As long as it's like a good morph, like as long as it's a good morph that no matter what, it's always going to be $300 to $500. But there's not a lot of those, Like Indo caramel. Um, as long as it looks good, that's always going to be, even in mainland. That's always going to be an okay price. Even purples. A good looking purple, you can still pull $300 on a good looking mainland purple. If it's really nice, you probably get more. And that's the crazy thing. Like purples dropped down to 500, and they stayed there forever. Purples were probably, just a good looking purple was one of the most like sustainable prices that we've ever seen in retics. They were, quit biting me and licking me. So, but yeah, any other ideas? Since there's more people on, if you didn't hear, I was asking for ideas of topics that you want to see breakdown videos and or podcasts about. We got side banding and back pattern. Let me know. Quit it, Barry. Quit fucking with the microphone. And another thing. Uh, is there anybody you want me and Spencer to try to get on? Is there any people you'd like to see us try to get on? I'm still trying to get this chick on that's doing studies on retic genetics, but she's still not responding to me after being excited about doing it and being excited about me sending her sheds from a few different localities, and now I'm not hearing from her. So it's my ignorance of not researching, but when crossing morph locality, 62% Kalatoa, jam, purple snow with a Pure locality Halma. How do you know or tell if it's going to get Halma look with? Is that too with smaller S or Kalatoa look with Halma size? Um, yeah, I look at it like this. I look at it like you're gonna get, if you do that breeding, you're gonna get 50% impact on overall size of Halma. So at least 50% of your size is going to be in that medium size range. And then you got 62%, and well, it depends on how you got that 62%. If it was 50, if it's 50% Kalatoa and 12.5 Jam, then you're looking at 25% of the genetics, um, going to be super dwarf size. So then that's going to knock it down, and then 12.12, the 12 whatever on the Jam side, that's going to take it down a little bit. So you're not really, but I guess it'd be 6%. So you're looking at 86 outcrossed. So you're out. You're only getting 14% roughly of mainland blood. So you're probably going to get something closer to that medium sized retic, if and it's not exactly a science, but just because that's what the most of the genetics are in that medium sized range. And then you got some Kalatoa blood, you know, offsetting any of the whatchamacallit, the mainland blood. So yeah, I would, with that breeding, I'm guessing you're getting basically a snake the size of a Halma, or maybe even a little smaller. I don't know if Cam would come on or not. I could ask him. Cam's not a big. Yeah, have Garrett on. Yeah, Cam doesn't. I've only ever seen him do one podcast, and it wasn't a very long one. Yeah, so yeah, we could have Triple Threat come on. Something tells me they don't want to come on my podcast, if I had to guess. Maybe if they kind of get it together, I'll go on theirs and help them out. Because if I was to go on theirs, and it would help, they would get like 1 billion views. So yeah, I'll try to reach out to Cameron to talk. See, I would not hold your breath on that one. Um, I wouldn't hold your breath on Garrett coming on either. Garrett's one of the few people that Garrett's one of the few people that I just don't want to have on. Like, he's one of those people I just don't want to have anything to do with him. Uh, I just it's not even about not giving him a platform. It's just being like what's Garrett gonna even say other than some bullshit? Like what's Garrett actually bringing to the table at this point? He's nothing. So. But Cameron would be a good one. Yeah, I saw that one that he was on with Trap Talk, and I'd love to have him come on and talk about all the retic shit. So I don't know. Maybe I'll send him a message, but I would not hold your breath on that one. Andrew's in Peru right now, and when he gets back, I think he's coming on because he's a dickhead and doesn't come on ever. But he's got a clutch of Mochinos. Him and this, I forget the other dude's name. They did a Mochino clutch, and he wants to come on to talk about the Mochino clutch. I forget what's all in it. It's a bunch of stuff that's never been produced before. So he wanted to come on and show it off and all that stuff. And hopefully he'll have some turn 8 clutches to talk about by then too. Yeah, we gotta have Dylan back on. I gotta make sure Dylan's internet's working. We actually did another one with Dylan and Joe, and it cut out so much I couldn't even piece it together. It wasn't just, it was Dylan and Joe both had, I think it was storming here, and they had really bad connections, and yeah, unfortunately we did like round 2 of that, and we just couldn't couldn't even put it out. So I was thinking about trying to get a group of breeders to come on and bullshit. Um, I kind of wanted to get a group of breeders to come on and just kind of bullshit, but probably do that one live and let everyone ask questions. Just let everybody ask a bunch of questions. No, because I mean, I like doing the pre-recorded podcast, but this kind of stuff is nice too. So people can be interactive and hang out and fucking talk. But come on, guys, you got to give me some more ideas here. We got back pattern, side pattern, Cameron from Bushmasters. There's got to be some other topics that you guys want us to cover. I know for the Breeding 101, that video, I don't know if we're going to get to that or not this week. We might. It's dependent all on what Spencer's female's doing. So, we don't want to do a video to tell you that she's not doing anything. I'm not intelligent enough to hatch eggs yet, so I'm in the boat came from. Yeah, that's maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna write down incubation, because I was just talking to Spencer about incubators the other day, and I was telling him, I was like, yeah, if you want a good incubator, just go get a big Coleman Kohler and put a piece of heat tape and like a little stand to put the egg box in, and it's your perfect Coleman Kohler. Or go and get some wood and some of that fucking foam board at Lowe's, and build out a frame, fill it with the foam board, and make a box. I'm using the same piece of shit incubator. Would you fucking knock it off? I'm using the same piece of shit incubators I've been using, I think, for 13 years. I have two, and then I have this little one that I literally built out of random pieces of wood I found in my basement. I can fit. It doesn't fit very many eggs. It fits like 20 or 30. So like if I have a clutch hatching, so I don't have to keep getting in and out of the incubator, I can put it in a little incubator by itself. So I just built a box. But my incubators, like I was telling Spencer, they're only like a foot high. They're 6 feet long. One's 3 foot deep. One's I think 2.5 foot deep. And yeah, they're 6 foot long, because I've tried a bunch of different incubator styles over the years. Would you fucking go lay down? Go lay fucking down. You're driving me nuts. And the upright ones have a ton of temperature fluctuation, and if you want to get rid of that, you got to put a fucking fan in there, and then that dries shit out. So I just, all my eggs are on the same level. So they're 6 feet long. They're only a foot high, which I suggest actually making them a little higher, more like 18 inches. Just give yourself some clearance, because I have to buy very specific size tubs. So yeah, I haven't really had much issue with maintaining humidity. I used to use the whatchamacallit, the light diffuser grate things. I don't even use those anymore. I'm just too fucking lazy. There's a fucking cat here on my fucking lens hood. I'm just too lazy to do that anymore. So I just use perlite and dump some water in there. And I need to come up with a like, the big thing is, like, when people ask you how much water you use, I've never once measured it. I've always just went by how the perlite fills. Because years and years ago, I used vermiculite, but that shit, it gets all sopping ass wet. It's kind of messy. You get more mold issues with them. So I use perlite and water in a shitty incubator. And for the last 13 years, that's what I've used. The old, yeah, the mini fridge, if it's not too big, you shouldn't have too much of a temp fluctuation issue. I know this isn't in the breeder realm, but I'd love some content on husbandry from someone like yourself who is long-term successful or taking care. For husbandry, I keep it pretty simple. I don't go all out with all kinds of stuff. I keep their cages pretty simple. I'm looking at upgrading this year I kind of want to upgrade everything this year. So I really want to move to a standard. I need to find somebody that can build these cages because I actually designed some cages a while ago that I want. Um, and I'm hoping I can find somebody because I have a lot of visions and I have some old Neos and I got a lot of different stuff and I kind of want to move towards um, basically a single type cage model. And they're not going to be they're only going to be 5 foot, but they're going to be pretty deep. And I wanted to make them around 2 feet high to get some shelving in there. Because like I like the visions, but man, it's hard to give them something to climb on in those. So I'm actually looking into coming up with a specific type build because I want a specific type build that's going to work for scrub pythons. It's going to work for small to medium sized retics. It's going to work for my Peruvian red tails. It's going to work for my Timors. I kind of want to come up with this kind of like standardized cage that's going to work for all basically all the decent sized small to medium sized decent sized species that I have. Um, so I'm working on that cage design. I drew it up. So I'm probably gonna try to fine tune it. But yeah, for husbandry, um, this time of year, for some of the stuff that's laying, I move to whatchamacallit, that double ground cypress. Uh, I just think it's easier to have it holds humidity better. The females seem to like laying in it. You know, it's a little easier. But most of the year I use paper. Honestly, I put the paper down. So yeah, if anybody does on here is using paper, there's a company that's a little cheaper than Uline called packagingprice.com. And I don't know how it's going now, but they used to have pretty decent deals on like free shipping over 500 or 1,000. So if you just buy a ship pile of rolls off of them, you get a good deal on the shipping. And like they got Uline's fucking dickheads because they like to make money on their shipping, so you can't ever like go pick anything up. It has to be shipped. Whereas I believe packagingprice.com, if you're near one of their supply places, you can actually go pick the shit up and get the stuff even cheaper. So, but yeah, they have a lot of stuff. Dude, yeah, packagingprice.com, like go check out their prices. The website's a fucking nightmare though, man. It the ergonomics of that fucking website suck dick hard. It's pretty bad. But if you can actually find what you're looking for on there, um, yeah, it's on there. Because I used to get a lot of shipping boxes on there, like the all white boxes, dude. They'll have some on there, like especially if they're on clearance, they'll be like 30 cents. Yeah, you'll be able to get like 6 by 6 by 6 and stuff for sometimes as low as like 30 cents each. What temps are you keeping your Dorse and Super Dorse generally? I run my room. My room this year time of year is around 70, give or take a few degrees, and there's always a hot spot between 88 and 90. And during the warmer months, the room's usually mid 70s to low high 70s. Like I don't ever like it getting up around. I don't like the room getting up to like 78 even. I like keeping it about 76 tops, maybe 78, on some hotter days. But yeah, 88 to 90 hot spot, and the room mid 70s this time of year, low 70s. Yeah, this time of year there's a humidifier running, and the rest of the year there is a dehumidifier running. So yeah, yeah. As soon as the cold weather hits, it's the humidity in my snake room drops to like 30%, and it's just too low. So I have to run a humidifier all winter, which is an easy way to kind of heat up the room too. Because if you put warm water in it, because it's a pretty decent sized humidifier, kind of like I don't want to say it steams up the room, but it kind of helps with the room. Yeah, yeah. If you want, If you have a Dollar Tree near you and you need cheap, if you have a Dollar Tree near you and you need cheap water bowls, you can actually go on to dollartree.com or whatever and order in water bowls and have them shipped to your local whatchamacallit, Dollar Tree. And they have, because I get a lot of those ones. So what is, nothing's a dollar anymore. It's all $1.25 because our money is bullshit, not worth anything. But they have a lot of different size water dishes. Um, yeah, you can actually save a decent amount of money. Just order them online and have them shipped right to your local Dollar Tree and go pick them up. Yeah, I found some really good cheap plastic water dishes on Amazon. I think it was like, what was it? It was less than $20 for 24 of them. It was not much at all. Do you? I don't. I prefer sliding glass or swinging outdoors. I do not. Swinging down doors are really dangerous with retics. They're really dangerous because if you're pushing it up and the snake hits it, like if it hits it and it hits it at an angle, it actually slingshots the snake into you. So I have a couple I have a couple 4 footers that have swing down doors. So I kind of open them with a hook and stand to the side, and then that's how I shut them too. Um, yeah, I really like. I guess I probably prefer sliding glass the most. Swing outdoors are fine if you have the room for it, but yeah, because I was looking at when I was talking about building those cages, I was actually looking for swinging outdoors, not sliding glass on them. Yeah, I've never used one of those mortar mixing tubs. I go to, there's a Tractor Supply. Uh, if you have one of those, they have those Fortiflex bowls that hold up to 2 gallons of water, and they're not much. Those bowls are like, I don't even know. They're not $20 or nothing. These are the big ones. These are big bowls. I want to say they're only like $10, $9, something. I mean, they're cheap and they're good. I probably have fucking 40 of them. Yeah, so yeah, I definitely like those. I was trying, I was trying to find those specific because they're called Fortiflex, and because I have a bunch on my website, there's a bunch of links to like use stuff that we use for like on Amazon. You can like all kind of paper towels, fucking snake hooks, snake bags, all kinds of shit. There's links on my website for it, and I tried forever to find the Fortiflex bowls online, and I couldn't. I could only find the more expensive one. Yeah, I haven't. Yes, that's great if they can't uh, tip those tubs. Yeah, they can't. The Fortiflex bowls have 2 little handle grips, but I put duct tape over them, so they can't flip those either, which is fantastic. I've only ever had a couple snakes actually flip them, and it's usually if like a male's freaking out, being a dickhead, wanting to breed, and just smashing shit all over the cage. But other than that, they never flip those things. Is that what they are for the Fortiflex? 11.99. Yeah, they're not much. They used to be cheaper than that. I haven't bought any in a while. I think when I bought them, they were like nine something. Yeah, they're good to go. Yeah, I'm hoping. So I got ink. So yeah, I got side banding, back pattern. Try to get Cameron and incubation. Yeah, I was actually thinking about doing. I was telling Spencer, I was like, maybe when spring gets here, I'll do a how to build a shitty but good, a shitty but useful incubator, because you can for like $100 you can build a super efficient incubator. So yeah, I was thinking about doing that because I need to replace mine anyways because they are 13 years old. They still work fine, but I would like them to be a little bit higher. So maybe I'll do a video if I make new shitty incubators. Because it seems like the professional reptile incubators that people spend way too much money on. It seems like everybody has issues with them. I heard a lot of people bitching about those Wilbanks incubators, saying there's all kinds of fucking issues with them. You know, if you're gonna do that stuff, make sure you get Calorique FlexWatt heat tape, and I mean, I really recommend only using the Spider Robotics Herpstats. Those things, I have a couple Herpstat Pros, or I think they were Pros that I got in I think 2007 that are still going. Do you raise any of this? Do you raise any of your feed for? No, fuck no. I do not raise any food for the snakes. A long time ago, I bred rabbits, and that didn't last long. I was like, nope, nope. Now, man, if you guys want affordable food for your retics, get on Facebook, get on your local classifieds, and track down all the whatchamacallit, all the show rabbit breeders, because they call the fuck out of stuff. They kill all kinds of shit. And I'm not talking shit on the show rabbit people. I'm just telling you they have to meet all these breed standards and shit. So they call a lot of stuff, and you know, you can, if you find them desperate enough, you can get that shit a buck a pound or less. But a lot of times they're trying to get like $2 a pound. But even at $2 a pound, it's still a great deal. And then if you're anywhere near pig farms, you can pretty much get free pigs. Find out who are doing the quail, doing birds. Oh, I'll tell you one way, if you don't mind killing the stuff, like the Tractor Supplies, all those redneck stores, every year they get in all the stupid ducks and chickens and all that shit. Once the chickens and stuff start to actually have feathers come in, people don't want them anymore because they don't look cute and shit. So they blow them out at like 25 cents or something crazy like that. Yeah, that's easy if you only got 3 snakes. I was actually considering going to breed quail. Or do quail produce like as crazy numbers? Like I was told, like they're laying like 40 eggs a month or some shit, like one female, and then they only take a couple weeks to hatch. Because I was going to do quail because my scrub pythons are jack offs sometimes about eating rats. They eat them, but they would much rather have quail. Um, and I was actually going to start doing quail because I actually know somebody who does quails and ducks. And I don't know if, no, I know they do quails and chickens. I can't remember if they're doing ducks or not. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. As soon as those feathers start coming in, man, they let that shit go. They let that shit go. Like they're like, get them the fuck out so we can get the new round of chickens that people are gonna let go in their yard and have other neighbors call the fucking police on them for. There's like that happens constantly here where I'm at. Just like people's chickens are just running around and people are bitching. Like I don't care. I don't care if some chickens come into my yard. It's not gonna ruin my day. They do fuck with your garden though. They would come and peck holes in my tomatoes. No. But come on, I need some more ideas here. You guys are killing me. Side banding, back pattern, Cameron, incubator. Anything on polygenics, anything on selective breeding, anything on locality crosses, any of it. Okay. The quail hatch about 3 weeks and start laying at 8 weeks. And the males are very randy, so all eggs are fertile to keep making more and more quail. Yeah, how do you keep those quail? Somebody like the person I was talking to, they keep them in like these like these 4 foot pens or some shit. Oh, I really don't want to breed quail, but it would be convenient. Be super convenient, actually. Uh, how did I come about the Apocalypto line? That I have a male that had a lot of, well, he still does. He's pretty dark now, but he had a lot of good silver on him. And he also had some yellow, which I'm actually trying to work a line out, work a line to get his yellow out, because the golden yellow thing, actually, I put him into a Mindanao. I'm waiting on that clutch. Hopefully it's a good clutch, because I think I'll be able to bring his yellow out with Mindanao blood easier than with ternate blood. Um, so I had this specific male and this specific female, whose patterns just kind of work really well together. And then there's this other wild caught male that has a lot of thick black. So that's actually how, I did that. I combined and mixed and matched different percentages of those three genetics, and that's how I created that. And the Fractalis line is actually an offshoot of the Apocalypto line, because the Fractalis line is two of the three lines in um, in Apocalypto. What do you think a Halma Ternate cross would look like? A Halma cross Ternate would look like a Sanana Island, Sanaa. You want to see what a because when you look at him, you're like, is this a Ternate or is this a Halma? And they're like, no, it's a Sanana, and or Sanana, or however you say it. It's a there. That's a central Maluku island. It's called the Sula Island groups. There's Taliabu, Mongolia, and Sanana, that's actually a region in it. I forget what the actual island's called, but there are pictures of them in my locality archive. If you wanna see pictures of them, there's you have to look through them. Just if you see snakes that look like ternates, and just click on them, ternates or halmas. Yeah, one of the best looking wild caught retics I've ever seen was from that island. I tried to get it here, but we lost importation because USARK's awesome at their job. But yeah, I don't think you really need to do a Halma Ternate cross, to be honest. I mean, I just think they'll look. I think they'll. I mean, I don't think they'll take. I think they'll be good looking, but I mean, I just don't think you need to cross them. They're close enough already. The Apocalypto line you made is, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Um, I'm going to keep kind of pushing it forward. There's a new bloodline that I started that's in the incubator right now that doesn't have any of those bloodlines in it. And then hopefully I get a second clutch that's going to be another bloodline. It's going to be specifically the bloodline that's in the incubator right now, specifically for a back pattern look with some side banding. And then this other clutch I'm trying for is specifically for thick, like a lot of black. So hopefully I get those two lines started, and I can pick out some crazy stuff out of that. Because I mean, I already got the one clutch. I'm just hoping I get a clutch from the other female. Because those snakes are getting so old that I just don't know how much longer they're going to breed, or if they're even going to continue to breed. Yeah, and that silver, the silver you're seeing on the Apocalypto, that's actually coming from one a very specific looking male that I bred into the Mindanao that I mentioned earlier. So we're hoping, and Mindanaos have some decent silver, so I'm hoping to get some crazy high silver sided. Well, I'm not gonna say high silver, but bright, really bright silver sided Felucus, and hopefully with some of the lighter colors on the Mindanaos, I'll be able to bring out some of the golden yellows on this specific ternate male. So I'm hoping, and hopefully they're super aberrant. I don't know if you saw those crazy looking ternate Mindanao Kalatoa marbles I made just last season. I'm hoping to have normals that are basically as nice as those marbles. I don't know if I'll be able to actually do that, but I'm going to try to. I'm going to basically try to make just these crazy. I'm hoping they look the way I want them to look. Crazy looking patterned Felucus. because the Felucas I made this year, that was about color, because we need some color and we need some pattern outlining. So when we did that breeding and mixed the Bowl, Mindanao, and Ternate, because the Ternate I use is specifically a Ternate I use for side colors. That's why we did that, to try to get a really wide range of color onto one snake, to hopefully be able to improve anything color wise. Because that's the thing. Like, you know, some of the stuff I'm doing isn't just based around, okay, let's improve a morph. It's also based around, like, okay, well, everybody's crossing these localities now. Let's let's be able to add as much color as possible once we're running them into super dwarfs and everything. So we're doing that too. And the Maluku clutch, or the Feluku clutch, the and the two the one turn A clutch, and hopefully the other turn A clutch. Hopefully I get a clutch. Those are going to be one's going to be for the, like I said, the back pattern, to try to get some separation in there, to really start being able to mess with stuff like Ocelot, Aztec, Tiger. If I get the back pattern I want, and then we can slap it onto a super dwarf, because super dwarf are already great for making classic pattern tigers. So yeah, there's a bunch of possibilities. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I got to wrap it up because my camera's gonna die on me any second. It's in the red. I got almost no battery left, and but yeah, I appreciate everyone coming on, and yeah, we'll work on some of these ideas we went over, and me and Spencer will start getting some more podcasts out. I don't know if Spencer did a live today or not. I didn't get a chance to look. I've been doing stupid shit all day, so. But yeah, it was good talking to everybody as always, and hopefully I'll be on tomorrow. Yeah, no problem. I like going live, so. But yeah, we're gonna try to make this a little more interactive. We're gonna try to start getting people to be able to come in and out of the live, and come on and talk about stuff if you want to. So we're gonna be working on some. Me and Spencer are probably gonna start going live together, and we're gonna start working some shit out where people can just come in and bullshit and talk. So, but all right, good talking to everybody.